Wow, it's been such a journey to consensus. So I actually live in central New Jersey, uh, and I am actually in the healthcare sector of the country here in the Northeast. So, there's always questions about whether healthcare found me or whether I found healthcare. My family has a huge healthcare background. So I grew up in hospital systems, insurance companies, and really kind of having that background from a really young age. Went to university here in New Jersey, educated in both my bachelor's and double master's degrees, both here in New Jersey. And after some time at 3+ years in the pharmaceutical space, I started to raise my family and really kind of, got to a point in my life where there were some things that I was passionate about and some things that I wanted to do right. That wasn't just corporate objectives type of situation. So that which is what caused me to launch Consensus Healthcare. Consensus, in short, if you ask me what my title is beyond founder and CEO, I would say that I'm a healthcare strategist and healthcare innovator. So our team jumps into healthcare systems, hospital systems, sometimes even pharmaceutical and nutraceutical firms. And most recently, we have a lot of startup clients, right, where we actually help them innovate. So if they have emerging technologies, Consensus kind of comes in and we do a really kind of think tank in terms of just getting some strategy done for them. And then we actually innovate and come out with some really, really good products. So again, a number of companies roll up under Consensus, and we have a really good time doing it. So Consensus's team, we actually have a team in Saudi Arabia. We have a team in New Zealand. We actually have a team in Sweden, and then we have a home base here in the US. I have a passion for health equity. Beyond Consensus Healthcare Consultants and our regular strategy for hospital systems, I've recently developed something called Resilient Mom. It is the first platform for maternal health. So it's actually on the App Store. Everyone can actually go in and download it. It's the first one is actually called Brooklyn Babies, if anyone wants to see that. But my goal is to combat maternal mortality. People think racial institutional racism and is a really big thing to tackle. But I think that, little by little, those are things that we can address, and hopefully, getting women to social determinant of health, and community support around women will definitely support us. As Black women, I think that we need it. And I think it's just the start of our health equity arm here at Consensus Healthcare. We will move into homelessness, recidivism, and all of the things that we need in community. So I think that's what I'll say in terms of our somewhat passion projects for Consensus. Part of the exploratory pieces that I've done in terms of creating Consensus really has me map out my targets. When you're really well mapped out, you can balance the rest of your life, right? And I think, some of the pieces are, people always challenged me that, you're a mom, you have 5 kids. And even before I started Consensus, many people told me I should open a daycare center, right? Because that's sort of how people just appropriate you, when you have children. And I said, no, I am really this healthcare innovative, this strategist, and that's what I'm going to do. So in terms of balancing the children, I did get very lucky to have 5 beautiful children. I think that's why I have 5. My first girls were like little ducklings. They're just 2 years apart. And my husband and I had them in our 20s. And then we grew in our careers and received multiple degrees after having the girls, just to start again some 20 years later and start having boys just in our 40s here or so. But in terms of balancing them, family is actually first. And I think when all of that is actually aligned, those secondary things, whether it be our company, whether it be our passions, our hobbies, they usually fall in line with those things. So, I think that's what I'll say about having children, that women who are considering it, and people are telling you have to pick one or the other, you really don't. You pick yourself and you pick what's true to you, and you move forward and you make your own story. I've been really lucky, one, to have a very supportive spouse and husband who's supportive of me and my immediate family. I actually have 5 children that I'm managing. My husband and I have been together about 30 years. We have adult children who are in college and coming out of college, and then we have a second set of children. So even within my household and within my framework, my parents and my siblings, literally, when we travel globally, they wear T-shirts that say Team McKever on it. And they jump into our house, they move into our homes. And that's what helps us really sort of globetrot in terms of the company. So, I'll say one, that our family support is really, really important. But I think for any sort of person who has a company and is really trying to grow, you need an extended family. And we have an extended global family as well, that we've met either through community or through industry, who support us in phenomenal ways. So when people talk about finding your tribe, it is really so important to find the right folks and get the right folks around you. So that's what I'll say about family. It's really two parts. Folks who are trying to get into entrepreneurship is to be multidimensional. Don't just pick one thing. Kind of find out who you are. I think when we come up through the U.S. education system, sometimes we're conditioned to get a title, right? Get a particular degree. But entrepreneurship is very, very different. And for you to be successful coming into that, you kind of really have to circle your wagons a little bit around a couple of different titles and really do some self-exploration, right? You are your self-expert, right? So you know what you are best at. And I think that exploration has to be balanced, right? We have to use the right amount of time. You have to, know your goals and your focus. But that's what I'll say. And in addition to that, I'll just say, in doing so, you have to take a lot of risks. A lot of people will tell you it's easy, right? You just get a website, you go get a bank account, you get an LLC. But the truth of it is that, you really have to have the minds, you have to have the means, and you have to have the discipline to kind of really, do this, to do it successfully and do it for the long haul. We talk about women and we talk about minorities in business, and they always want to give us statistics that say why we won't make it, right? Or how difficult it is for us to make it. But I think when you really take the time to know who you are, know what you want, know what your passions are, it's a very easy target to strive for, right? And then again, you just need the right folks around you, and then you'll make it.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and share. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content.